Welcome to Flat Earth Debate Live. I'm your host Nathan Oakley, and if you are new to this channel, or you've not done so already, then be sure to subscribe. Hit the bell notification icon and join button if you'd like to become a Nathan Oakley 1980 channel member and keep up to date with the Flat Earth Debate. If you'd like to support the channel, there is a super chat that runs alongside each of these shows while they are live. There's also a coffee, Patreon, crypto and thanks button in the info box below the video. Most importantly, if you'd like to join the discussion, simply mute the page you are currently watching, then click the link in the info box below this video to join the panel and express your views on the nature of Earth. If you do join, please don't swear. If you do, you'll be ejected, and if you are, please don't try to rejoin the stream using sock accounts. You'll be warmly welcome back on the next stream. Please also share the show on social media. Sharing the show obviously increases the live audience, but this in turn increases the chances of a more diverse panel, so please share the show on Facebook and X. Now we are joined by Sensual Goat, Neil, and a whole bunch of people in the Flat Earth Debate Discord server, so welcome one and all.
Earth curve, baby.
Hello.
Hello, good to be here, good to be back. We'll be back to our regular scheduled programming from here on forward. So from now, I think I'm pretty much over having a tooth out. I think I'll live. And yeah, we'll get back to our normal schedules now. So I did try and squeeze a few live shows in through the period of being off ill and dosed up with antibiotics. But now we can actually get back to proper regular scheduled shows. So Monday, good start. Let's do a bit of housekeeping. Any evidence of a physical geometric sphere edge that's a horizon formerly known as Earth curvature?
Big Bald Dave and Angels of Light. They'll tell you exactly where it is.
Okay, for members, if you want to check out the Uncurtain After Show after the live show and after show finishes, we were discussing the Angels of Light, Dave, and whoever that particular videographer was. I don't know, I didn't actually pay attention to it in the pre-show, so feel free to check out that. Any evidence of a physical geometric sphere edge, though?
Negative.
What about any evidence of axial rotation of the Earth-based variety?
There is no movement.
Any movement that's inferred, in heliocentric terms at least, is described with respect to a plane of reference.
That's correct.
Any scientific evidence of gravity?
Wait till that part comes up. No, there's no science in gravity. Gravity is just a word.
Well, any
define
single...
it first?
Go ahead, Goat. Was that Goat?
It has to be defined first.
Well, they talk about it having a downward pull to the center of the Earth, but I thought it was, Einstein's bending of space-time. So they can't even get that right.
Any evidence of the distance to the sun? Yes, Robert MB Realist, we are indeed live. What about any evidence that you can have gas pressure, that's what we're all breathing, without the necessary antecedent of a container to press upon?
Sulfur hexafluoride.
Still need a container for that.
Yeah.
You need containment for everything.
So gas still abides by the second law of thermodynamics. Entropic dispersion still rules then. The space is fake. If the sky was a vacuum, the gas you're breathing would have dispersed into it and you wouldn't be breathing. We'd all be dead if there was a sky vacuum for rockets to travel through. Automatically debunking the moon landing, travelling to Mars, Voyager, little gold discs flying through space. It's all bollocks, the whole lot. Any evidence of a self-perpetuating molten iron core at the centre of a presupposed spherical Earth?
No.
Awake Soul says, when's the book released? Soon. We're on chapter 8 of 15 chapters. Now, by chapter 8, I mean it's all written, it's being polished, checked over before going to the publicist. Is that the right word? Publicist? Such a long time since I've spoken to Chuck.
Yes.
Publicist, yeah, that's right. Anyway, he'll do the same thing. I'm sure he'll go through it as well. But in the meantime, before we pass it on to him, we're going through it with a fine-tooth comb, and we're the majority of the way done what we're calling editing the book. That is to say, checking what's already been done. It's a long and tedious process, but at the end is in sight. Thank God. I can't give you a day. I don't know when. Soon.
Soon. So now that housekeeping is all done, what are we going to do now, Nathan?
I didn't actually ask every housekeeping question, but that's fine. Let's see, we're done with it, aren't
What
we?
about pitch data, Neil? Have you got evidence of pitch data on a globe that you're hiding?
Oh, that's right. No, we got to get that one in there, Nathan. Sorry.
No, we're done now. It's been said now, Neil. There's no going back. We'll do more housekeeping
Man, I'm
throughout the week.
rusty.
Don't worry. We don't need to cover them all on every single show. It's fine. It's all good. But you want me to ask, so I will. Any evidence you can acquire a pitch data on a globe?
On a globe? That's a
It's
joke.
stupid question, isn't it? Now, heights off surface level, they're a prerequisite. It's like Brian when he was saying he didn't need the pitch data before we got it. He was so right. He didn't need it. It's axiomatically linked to Earth being flat. You can't be in straight and level flight without Earth being flat. The fact that the pitch data shows it in really simple terms on a graph with respect to a horizontal plane that the plane's flying over, you get people like Disgruntled Danny saying, the fact that flat earthers say that we'd have to nose up to not fly off into space. No, planes don't nose down, they fly level. And making apologies for why they don't fly around a globe isn't us saying they should. That's idiotic. They don't. You would say that they should do it if they did it. They don't. Planes, that is, don't nose down around a curved Earth. They fly
According
flat.
to Brian Cox, but it's Dr. Brian Cox. I'll correct myself.
Professor.
Flat earthers shouldn't be allowed to travel because we believe that pilots are part of a grand conspiracy and trying to trick us.
But Cox says I shouldn't fly because I believe... No, I didn't believe anything of the sort. I mean, I could just make up some shite about Cox being a flight risk. What with all those murders that he's committed. I could just make shit up like Cox has done something criminal, couldn't I? Yeah, Cox, you're a wanker. I understood from a tale from one of the roadies that Cox got gaffer taped to the lighting rig because he was such an annoying prick. Everyone around him fucking hated him. Yeah, so they bullied him for being a prick. So that's obviously what this prick, Cox, does later in life. Starts asserting that, flat earthers shouldn't go on flights? Oh, really? I think you should be strapped to a lighting rig with gaffer tape. Oh, it already happened, didn't it, Cox, you wanker? That's because the people around you didn't like you, you wanker. Yeah, that's why you got gaffer taped to a lighting rig and raised up into the roof? Because people around you didn't like you. They thought you were a wanker. And we still do. Yeah, because you say things like people should be banned from flying because they... And then insert straw man that they didn't say here that Cox made up. About us believing something that the flight crew believe it. No, we don't, Cox. You're a wanker. You're deserving of being gaffer taped to lighting rigs and raised up into the roof. Hopefully you screamed like a little girl and thought you were going to die. Let's hope that was the case, you pathetic twat. I hate Cox. He's a total wanker.
Agreed. And it's a shame because he's English and it hurts us more when one of your own lets you down.
Send them to America with the rest of them.
Just quote him. There isn't really a force of gravity at all. End quote, Professor Brian Cox. Oh, thanks, Professor Wanker Cox. Yeah, when you're not gaffer taped to a lighting rig, you're actually quite useful for debunking the rest of the high school educated wankers we have to face here, who think that gravity's a force. Not really a force at all, end quote you. Thanks, Cox. You pathetic wanker. Yeah, I'll fly wherever the hell I like, dickhead. I'll also go to the black box data. Maybe we should put this out as an actual challenge, right? I'd like to know. Now, we've got this board, the NTSB, National Transportation and Safety Board. And in their data that they investigate regularly, not necessarily on a daily basis, but air crash investigations predominantly are the ones that make the headlines from the NTSB. They are using black box data and pitch information that affirms beyond all doubt that Earth is being measured as a flat plane. The level flight that they record in that flight data is shown in pitch data as exactly that, flat. Now, Cox is suggesting that I, as a flat earther, believe in something that the flight crew believe. Now, that's a complete garbage lie that Cox has made up, a straw man that he's burning. But I will put this challenge out there, and I hope that it makes its way to Cox. Are the NTSB, National Transportation and Safety Board, who investigate deaths on flights, lying when they show beyond all doubt that Earth is measured flat in their pitch data? Because according to Cox, I shouldn't even be on that flight, that the NTSB agrees with me with recorded data. So who's right, me and the NTSB, or Cox, a wanker ex-muso who was gaffer taped to a lighting rig? Is it me that's right, or is it Cox the wanker? I'm pretty sure it's me and the NTSB and our flat Earth measurements versus what Cox says flat earthers believe about flight crew. Good.
No, I was just testing it because I don't have the hand up anymore. But since you got me, that's another thing that bothered me about that video particularly. I don't know if you're going to go over it, but I'm going to say it anyway. They never even mentioned that gravity was not a force. Not that I heard.
Yeah, they were debunking it within the paradigm that it is a force still.
Who were? What are you talking about?
David Weiss and Angels of Light in their discussion.
Oh, we're getting back onto this, are we? Fair enough. We have finished
gentlemen.
housekeeping.
Away. Anything past that will be start to get hidden behind a physical.
Of course, we haven't actually done this, have we, in the live stream yet? Okay, so as is always the case, this videographer is who gets the plugs. In this instance, it's the way of Will John. That's the name of the channel. So please let this videographer know, at Nathan Oakley 1980 sent me with a polite remark that doesn't immediately get eradicated by the YouTube algorithmic bots, or indeed if you're passive-aggressive with the videographer themselves. So try and be polite, just let them know. Just allude to the facts. We have covered your video, or words to that effect. Just let him know that we've covered his video. And yeah, give him a like, give him a comment, just help him along in the YouTube algorithm, as I would hope would be the case if he was to do the same for me. So if he was to do a response and say, oh, by the way, I got a load of comments saying at Nathan Oakley 1980 sent me, I'd hope that if he did a response, he'd put the same effort into promoting my channel as I'm putting now into promoting his with my channel viewers. Thank you very much for doing so. If you are doing it live now, there's a link going by in the live stream chat. Shout out to Sasha, otherwise known as Unitox Femu, who says, a fox called Cox doesn't know what is black box, but if you drop box, then Cox will say no force. Well, thank you very much for the super chat. Really appreciate it.
That's a good one.
I'm surprised I could read it.
Curve. Can you agree with that?
I think those numbers are correct. I just checked. There is an Earth curve calculator.
Yes, there's an Earth curve calculator, and Dave Weiss, as a flat earther, has successfully just got his opponent, who's already on the globe side, to agree that there's Earth curve maths. What an achievement. Unsubscribe from Dave Weiss immediately, if you are a flat earther, because he is not. He's not here to promote flat Earth. He's just got his globe-believing opponent to affirm globe Earth maths that we debunked in 2020. Dave Weiss has spent a significant period up until this, which we covered in the pre-show, affirming globe Earth false dichotomies and talking about flat Earth measurements in the form of how they'll be proving distance to globe Earth horizons. So, just so we're clear, Dave isn't proving flat Earth, but he's very keen to make sure we talk about the globe.
Yeah. So we have them. Verify them later, of course.
Yes, that sounds correct.
You go away and verify globe Earth mathematics that require a flat plane that Dave will never mention.
Correct.
So, and if I sat down
Down with respect to a horizontal plane of reference. Down is a directionality that requires horizontal. You can only be down on a flat plane. You can't be down on a globe. Dave also will use these flat earth affirming words and language and never mention that you can only have these linguistically connected to a flat plane. He'll never mention it.
I'm now no longer 6 feet tall. That horizon's going to come even closer to me because I'm lower.
Correct. Your perspective.
Lower is, in terms of Earth measurement, actually describing how close to the ground you are. It's a flat Earth elevation. So this is a flat Earth prerequisite. Dave's using it and whistling past the graveyard of a globe Earth. If that's what he wants to talk about, he's just killed it and hasn't mentioned it.
Perspective is different, yeah.
So we're going to show you some observations that
Perspective requires a flat plane to describe mathematically.
that require magical refraction. So out here,
Why are we talking about refraction? This is going to be something that's contained deep in the underbelly of Earth curve mathematics once assumed. That we have a radius, whereas angels of light piping up for proof of the radius that we're now assuming. And the refraction calculations, what, 7/6 of said radius that we've just given them for some reason. These are shills. Dave Weiss isn't a flatty. He's only going to talk about Earth curve from this point forward. He's not here to tell you Earth's measured flat.
there's no boat. You can't see a boat. So look carefully. Ready? So as we zoom in, we're increasing the angular size. So we're making.
So an angle, that's a flat Earth prerequisite. I just said it. Perspective requires a flat plane of reference to describe it mathematically. It's a flat Earth proof. What Dave will do is take this flat Earth prerequisite that can only be utilising a flat plane, ignore that fact, and start talking about how it directly connects to a globe Earth that we can keep alive in this false dichotomy. Unsubscribe from David Weiss. He is a shill. He's only here to promote globe Earth maths. He'll whistle past every flat Earth proof, and I'll be here to point them out.
Our aperture bigger and bigger and bigger. And as we do, all of a sudden you see, oh, look, there is a boat there. Now, my finger can't hide that whole boat. But if my finger was a wave in the foreground, as I zoom out, my finger...
Sorry, who gives a shit about what is hiding boats? Right? If his opponent, that's the globe believer, not Dave, unsubscribe from Dave. I shouldn't be attacking this from a flat earther, should I? I shouldn't have to unpack this globe earth rhetoric. Dave's doing it, not the glober. He's not welcome in this community anymore. I'm sodding sick of it. Right, Dave is telling you about how globe earth maths works.
Finger's going to hide the whole boat, okay? And these little waves in the foreground,
How perspective works beyond the prerequisite flat plane requirement in angle descriptions has no bearing on Earth. Yeah, you can describe it mathematically, and then you'll need a flat Earth prerequisite. That is literally game over for the globe. I only say that because that's what Dave's seemingly alluding to his raison d'etre being. He's here to debunk a globe. And no. You don't need Dave to debunk a globe. Everything that is useful in their measurements to suggest a globe proves a flat Earth is being measured.
the boat looks like it's going over the curvature.
See, told you, he's a shill. Unsubscribe from him. Boat looks like it's going over the curvature, end quote, Dave Weiss. He's not here to tell you about flat Earth prerequisites in the form of perspective. He's not here to tell you about flat Earth prerequisites in the form of distance. He's not here to tell you about flat Earth prerequisites in the form of height. He's telling you about Earth curve, ladies and gentlemen. The man's a shill. He's a con artist. He's a grifter. He's not here for flat Earth. Certainly not here for you to progress your understanding of it. I'll give you that when I tell you in no uncertain terms. Dave's got 5 flat Earth proofs, and he hasn't affirmed any of them as being a flat Earth. He's just telling you about what the globe should or shouldn't do.
But you can agree that that boat's not going over curvature.
So it's just whether or not it's going over curvature, whether or not the opponent will agree with Earth curvature being the cause or not. Forget about the gravestones that the curve's already got. It's being measured flat, linear. Hello? We can only describe every single aspect of this in measurable terms with a flat Earth. That's the only way it can be done. Nothing that Dave will describe here has anything to do with Earth curve. Why is he even doing it? He's not a globe head! Yeah, well, that's what you need. You need people like Jaren pretending to be flat earthers to tell you how, oh yeah, Antarctic sun proofs are on a globe. When we measure the angle off a flat plane to the sun, it proves the globe, says Sharon. Notice how stupid it sounds when I say it. You need Dave to tell you how the flat Earth, linear measurements of miles and kilometres, or your height off a flat plane with a parallel eye level will give you a boat disappearing over a curve or not. Get them out of your lives. Just unsubscribe from these charlatans.
It's going out of our ability to see it. It's going out of our angular resolution limit.
Angular resolution limit is a prerequisite flat Earth description, mathematically. As Dave mentioned it, no, he's talking about how it can't be Earth curve, keeping it alive, keeping the false dichotomy going. That's his place in this flat Earth community. Dave's a shill. His only place is to keep the globe Earth argument alive. That's what he's doing. Can you all see that? I'm not asking rhetorically. Can you all see how what Dave's doing is keeping the globe Earth argument alive? Can you all see that?
Yep, and all they're doing is talking about what you shouldn't be able to see.
Yeah. Like the bloody Earth curve maths that needs flat Earth to utilise surface level will dictate what we should or shouldn't see. And how we should argue about it is going to be laid out by Dave the scammer.
Limits.
Yes, I agree. Yes.
You got an agreement about Earth curve from your opponent there, Dave. Shouldn't you be getting him to be trembling in the flat Earth measurements? Trembling in the wake of the perspective that needs a flat Earth? No. Dave's just here to get agreements out of globeheads. Because he's a flatty that you subscribe to. You my audience. What are you doing subscribe to this man? Call yourself a flatty? Yeah, you're part of the problem. If you subscribe to Dave, you're part of the problem. You're just keeping a globe Earth rhetoric alive.
If it was behind a physical curve, we couldn't zoom in on it. No.
But if it was behind a physical curve, so you're going to suggest that, are you, Dave? Whether or not it's a curve is all Dave's here for. To make it seem like that's how flat earthers should argue about if it will or will not present itself based on its blockage from curve when showing actual views of a flat horizon. Meanwhile, their distance to that horizon in their Earth curve maths will be a measurement of a flat Earth. Something Dave will never mention.
No, but even if we had the Hubble telescope.
Well, there are other.
Yeah, more shillery. Dave talking about a telescope out in a sky vacuum. Yeah, giving them that too. What a shill. Has Dave validated that there's a Hubble telescope? Has he? Bollocks. Just another thing that he's going to take from the side that he tells you don't need to believe. Yeah, he'll be all for telling you don't believe the 9/11 truth that they've been giving you, but meanwhile he'll take anything they feed him from the Antarctic Treaty. Yeah? From the Hubble telescope, says his friendly government, that he simultaneously suggests you shouldn't believe. This is a con man. Yeah, if you're still subscribed to Dave, have a word. You're part of the controlled opposition much. He's a grifter and a con man and a shill.
Elements at play here, such as the refraction, but...
What, at 7/6 of the radius that you seem to have been gifted by these grifters? Yeah? 7/6 of a radius value in an orthographic mathematics isn't refraction, sir. You're an idiot.
Yes, I would agree that. How far is that boat away? Is that...
Or in linear flat Earth miles or kilometres? That question can only be answered on a flat Earth. Can I just check that everybody in the Discord and on my G+ panel understands that his question can only be answered with a flat Earth?
Yes.
Absolutely.
You just asked a question that has a flat Earth prerequisite in linear miles or kilometres, sir. Yeah? But can I ask the audience a
Straight as an
question?
arrow.
What's Dave doing about this fact that proves a flat Earth? Is he shoving it down the opponent's face, or is he keeping Earth curve mathematics alive? Ask yourself why he's here. Ask yourself who he associated with. Yeah? All the shills who went down to Antarctica. Yeah, those same shills were screaming my name about deflecting to measurements of a flat Earth that they're measuring. Meanwhile, Dave was propping him up, wasn't he? Yeah? He had him on his boat, didn't he? Yeah? The Gerrans and the Witzits. These are all grifters. They're all con men. They're all in on the grift of keeping a globe alive. That's their purpose here.
that
We don't know. We don't know on that one, but we do have.
We don't know what the distance to the boat in linear flat Earth proving miles or kilometres, Dave. We don't know. What the only useful measurement we could have offered, you don't know. Well, yeah, well, it's a good job you, the flat earther, gets quickly away from the only thing that you've mentioned that could be proving a flat earth so far. Good job you don't know it. It's on Dave's screen, by the way. Dave's presenting this. Again, just another way of making us look like retards.
We have other ones where...
We, Dave? No, you spastic shill here to flog your app and grift people into arguing about Earth curve that they don't need because they've got flat Earth proving linear miles. You don't know the distance in your video. No, it's probably best that you don't if you're shilling for a globe. The distance would be flat Earth affirming, so best we get away from that if you're a shill, which Dave is. I just want to make it absolutely abundantly clear, I don't approve of Dave's message. He's not a flat earther, he never was. He's only ever propped up the people who have demonstrated themselves as shills, and now Dave's affirming globe earth maths and steering away from everything that proves a flat earth. Unsubscribe from this man immediately.
Angel, are you able to share images well, or I can share them and you can talk about them?
What? The ones that you're sharing that you don't know the distances in there, Dave? The only thing that would be proving a flat earth and you didn't know about it. I see. Very shilly, Dave, very shilly. Me, I'd be shoving the flat earth affirming distances in miles or kilometres right down that guy's throat.
Yeah, I mean, I can show my own observation that I did. I've got the video ready. I can share it.
Really? Angels of Light, have you got the proof that you know the extremities of the Earth? Because you affirmed to this man that you knew those. And I'm going to be needing those, Angels of Light, yeah? Can somebody get in touch with Angels of Light? At the prior part of this interview, he was asked about the extremities and ice walls, while Dave Weiss was pointing at some map, some bullshittery. And Angels of Light suggested that he did absolutely know. I'm going to need that evidenced by Angels of Light. So can we all let Angels of Light know that his scammy, shilly, arse-licking nature, when he suggests he knows the extremities of an ice wall, he's going to need to actually prove that now. Yeah?
Yeah, some numbers would be good if we could know how far away that particular object is.
Yeah, it's almost like this was lined up for making Dave look like a complete spastic, wasn't it? Like he's presented the video and the only measurement he could have offered in terms of the distance to the boat he doesn't know, he disclaims that, and then his opponent points it out. Not points it out, wrong term, reiterates it after Dave initially pointed it out. My name's Dave Weiss. I'm not this pretend flat earther and that, right? Yeah, we've got the distances. They're really important to this boat. Look at this in my video that I've got. I don't know the distances. We've got others, though. Opponent's response. Well, the distances would be quite useful. Yeah, they would, for proving a flat earth. You grey-haired old codger. They're linear. No matter what you present to that boat, it's going to be a flat earth prerequisite, isn't it?
Yeah, that's what bothered me about this. They could have led with the Black Swan, where you know the distances to the oil rigs and you can lay it out beautifully. Why did they even start with that? A photo that they don't know the distance to where the ship is.
We can calculate whether we can actually see it, then accounting for refraction.
So we can calculate it based on the flat Earth measurements of distances, can we? Then we can calculate refraction at 7/6 of a radius you've just assumed and didn't know the value of. So you're going to calculate it with a value that you didn't know, and you will assume represents a spherical Earth. That would be called begging the question. Not just begging the question with a value you didn't know. So automatically assuming your outcome much. So we're automatically going to assume that Earth has a radius. Well, it's almost like Dave's giving them this on a silver platter. What a wonderful flat Earth treat we're being given by Dave.
Let Angel show you this demonstration, then I'll show you something that we know the exact numbers and you can verify.
Okay, great.
So just very quickly, right? You're saying that this horizon is curving down and away from us in all directions, correct?
Well, that's the model.
No, the model has a distance to the geometric horizon based on your observer height in feet off a surface level with an eye level that's parallel with it. So, no, you're wrong.
That we use in physics, correct?
You use in physics what the study of the physical and natural world, like natural science. Now, that's a category error. You said calculating. Yeah, the measurement is of a flat Earth in miles. Or height off surface level. Those are the measurements. That's maths. This retard doesn't know what physics is, do you, sir? Did you not explain at the beginning of your resume statement that you were an expert in thermodynamics? The physical and natural world is dealt with by science. This would be maths, you total clown.
Okay, so watch this.
Breaking news. A whistleblower.
I think at this point we'll have a little break. We're halfway into the live show. Let's see if we've got any opinions from Discord or G+ in terms of what we've had so far from Dave Weiss, Angels of Light, and whoever this guest is on this dude's show, The Way of Will John.
I got something. This guy was open and could have led with measurements. I got no beef with anything. If you lead with measurements and lay it down how Earth is measured flat, first and foremost.
Yeah, and also this is the same script that Dave has been using for the past 7 years, perhaps. It's getting a bit old and a bit tired now.
Yeah, old,
Outdated.
tired, flat Earth ignoring rhetoric from Dave Weiss, the shill, grifter, con man who's only here to bleed money out of people for apps and prop up the most shilly, underhanded people who've exposed themselves as such in this community, like Jaren. Dave's part of it. Yeah, it's part of the controlled opposition. There's no other explanation for it. He's not proving a flat Earth. He's only keeping the globe rhetoric alive.
In a boat that wasn't previously visible, see? Now, my second question to you is,
why are you asking him anything? The distance to the boat is measured in flat Earth, proving miles or kilometres.
You said that it's curving down and away from us in all directions. Now,
How are you going to measure that? But for the fact that you'll need a horizontal plane of reference to measure the distance, you won't be doing anything.
now, my next question would have to be then, if that's the case, then how come when we zoom in onto the horizon, the boat in the distance appears higher in elevation than the buoy?
Who cares? Like, this is a question of perspective, as opposed to whether or not Earth is a level plane that you suggested at the beginning in your opening statement, Angels of Light. Topographical plane. Yeah, you need to prove that, rather than offering some question proof. Oh, Dave's trained you, haven't you? You haven't your tongue up his arse too long. So Dave's trained you in taking a perfectly reasonable linear distance to a boat and turning it into a question proof about how Earth could be flat. Maybe we'll argue about how curvy the surface could be with this opponent. Yeah, Dave's definitely trained out all the decent arguments out of you, hasn't he?
If it's curving down and away,
If it is curving, sorry, aren't you a flat earther anymore, Angels? If it's curving, no, the distance is measured in a linear miles or kilometres value that can't curve. It's linear. Why would you be speculating this? Oh, you've joined the shill crew of Dave Weiss and his cronies that question proofs their way into globedom. If it's curving, the hell's going on? What's going on? Somebody answer me. What's going on? Why is Angels of Light asking this question?
Because he is a shill as well.
You're a shill, Angels of
Yes.
Light? Or did you just find the fame appeal of Dave Weiss too desirable? Yeah? As you rammed your tongue up his arse.
the opposite should be true. The boat should appear lower than the buoy.
So why? Why should it? Lower? Lower will be a a height with respect to a surface level. If you're describing how higher or lower something is, you need a flat Earth to describe it. These are altitudes. Lower, what's closer to the surface? Yeah, the surface and how close to it is measured in height off it. Off sea level, in this instance. So, what Angels has had after spending some time in the company of the shills is all the decency of flat Earth argumentation slowly rubbed out of him. Right? So, Angels, you thick? Yeah, spend a bit too much time in the company of shills? You're forgetting the flat Earth prerequisite you'll need? Hello?
If you zoom all the way in on curvature that's curving down and away, it should curve.
So you definitely, you're full on going into the how much we should or shouldn't have curvature. Yeah, you're full on to the shill posse of Davedom. Yeah, make sure you rub into your opponent's face how we should or shouldn't have Earth curve when talking about linear distances or heights off surface level. How close you are to the deck measured off the deck being a level plane and parallel eye level. Oh my God. Didn't take long, right, for all of that decent information that we gave you to disappear, eh, angels?
More down and away from you as you zoom in.
Down is flat Earth affirming. If you knew that, you wouldn't be having this argument, but obviously Dave's trained you in keeping the globe alive.
No, the do you know the distance of the boat there?
It's linear, flat Earth only. Whatever that distance is, it'll prove a flat Earth. You stupid grey-haired old tosser.
I mean, the buoy.
I know my altitude above the water there was 6 feet.
Altitude is flat Earth affirming also. 6 feet off surface level. So your parallel eye level is 6 feet above the surface level. Yeah, you'll need a flat Earth for that. Let's see if he mentions it, or if Dave's just been training him on how to keep the globe alive.
All right, so you're at 6 feet, yeah.
Yeah, off a surface level. Yeah. Flat Earth affirming. Let's see if Angels mentions it.
And how far away is the boat in miles?
In linear flat Earth miles. Let's see if Dave mentions how far in linear flat Earth proving miles we are when we're off a flat Earth surface for a parallel eye level. Let's see if any of this gets mentioned.
We don't know the exact distance, but
In linear flat Earth miles.
the point he's making.
Second time he's pointed out that we don't know it. Dave's here to make us look like spastics. It's his video. Hello. We've given him the Black Swan for free. Here's the Black Swan, Dave. He didn't want it. Yeah, he wanted to go on these shows and look like a retard. So that you, a flat earther, watching this, so you look like a retard. That's what Dave's purpose is. Yeah, this video that I'm putting up as an evidence. I don't know anything about it. We could go and get others, though. But I'll mention twice that I don't know the distance to this boat in my example. Yeah, he's here to make us look retarded. That's his purpose. Like I keep saying, just unsubscribe from Dave. The guy's an asshole.
Here is the more
sure-
distant.
Dead.
I'm sure the grey gentleman had already asked that question, hadn't he? So he's asking it again just to confirm that Dave doesn't know the distance of the boat in his own video. That's nuts.
Yeah, just to make absolutely sure in the mind's eye of the audience, this man is retarded. He is stupid. He doesn't know his own evidence. He's also whistling past every flat earth prerequisite that he's using as well, just so he can talk about how curvy it should or shouldn't be according to globe maths, that the guy doesn't know the radius that he's going to assume, and they're going to give him.
An object appears higher than the closer object.
Sorry, higher is a flat earth prerequisite. I'll just keep saying it because Dave won't. Again, why this man has any subscribers is beyond me. Yeah, it keeps whistling past the graveyard that proves flat earth.
But when we're on a ball, we're always on the top of.
When we're on a ball, from the man claiming to
There it
be
is.
flat earth Dave. When we're on a ball. That's what his purpose is. Do you all see it, audience? Do you hear what he's saying? When we are on a ball, says David Weiss. Yeah? Just unsubscribe from him. Delete his app. Cut the man out of your life. He's not here as a friend. He's our adversary. He's our opponent. He's helping them.
Exact distance, but the point he's
We don't know the distance. I'm a flat earther and stupid, right? We got that bit.
making here is the more distant object
More distant, right? Linear flat earth proving, not getting mentioned. Yeah.
appears higher
Higher on a flat earth surface that's not getting mentioned also
than the closer object.
than the closer object in linear flat earth proving miles or kilometers. Yeah.
But when we're on a ball, we're
But when we're on a ball. So whistle
Wow.
past every flat earth proving evidence that he's got in that sentence and segue onto a ball. Are you hearing me on FM, audience? Are you getting this? We're surrounded by shills. Every so often they'll come out of the woodwork like Jaren just has and make it absolutely abundantly clear, even to the stupid amongst us, that that's what they're here for. Now, Dave is still pretending to be a flatty, but he isn't helping us, is he? Nah, quite the contrary.
always on the top of the ball, and the
Are we, Dave? Yeah, it'd be useful if you told us how you proved the flat earth once or twice. Yeah, but we're nicely into this discussion now, and anybody who's half asleep won't realise that you're now telling us how ball-shaped Earth can be considered. To be or not to be.
The farther things get, the lower they should be. They're
Both farther and lower are flat Earth prerequisites. I'll just keep saying it. Earth's measured flat with this. Dave's just not mentioning it. He's only going to mention how bally it can or can't be.
they go down and away.
Only on a flat Earth, Dave. I'll say it because you won't. I'm a flat Earther, a real one that knows it's flat. You're a con man. A ball-believing con man. A wolf in sheep's clothing. You're pretending to be a flat Earther so you can tell people about what would happen on a ball.
When you go across a ball,
you don't go across a ball. The distances that you just mentioned that you don't know in your own bleeding video making everybody look stupid aren't linear on a ball. That's why all the maps are flat, so you can retain those scales in kilometres or miles on the maps. You don't do this. This is Dave being that con man, that charlatan, that scammer that you should be unsubscribing from. He's just like Jaren. Now, I'm not going to sugarcoat it like I did with Jaren. This man's a scammer. Make no mistake, I'm not going to sugarcoat it anymore. He's a con man, a grifter. He's just out to get money out of you and make you get back on the ball. He's going to assert everything other than the flat earth proof he's using. Shout out to Daz888. Good to see no bite lost with the tooth. I like it.
Good one.
I love it. Very good.
everything goes down and
Thank you for the super chat, Daz.
away.
Yes.
Down and away on a flat earth. Just those words, just that single sentence, I can prove a flat earth with it. Dave, not even going to get close to it.
I guess my question is,
why are you asking anything? We've got flat earth proofs galore. It's the end of the discussion as far as I'm concerned. There shouldn't be any questions from this man at this stage.
if we can have
we
some
have
numbers.
flat Earth proofs. They don't.
Dave just keeps the globe earth argument alive, keeps talking to his audience about how to calculate globe earth mass.
Here. I know what's
You stuttery old twat! Get a grip!
happening. I know what's happening here because the human eye can only see so far, and you were using obviously some form of camera. You were zooming in.
So far, what, like in a linear flat earth only distance? Is that sort of distance it can see? Yeah?
Now it's easy to calculate how far that
So we don't calculate distance, we measure distances. And they'll be linear and flat.
horizon line should be.
Right, horizons are flat also. They're useful axiomatically in principles that keep planes in the air.
You said you were at 6 feet.
Off of surface level, parallel eye level notwithstanding.
At 6 feet, the
Off a flat earth.
horizon should be about 3 miles away.
Oh.
So
Sorry, it should be a distance in linear flat earth affirming miles when you measure your height off of surface level. In the, using the radius that you didn't know, begging the question, proof of nothing perspective hijacking earth curve mathematics. The distance to horizon is claimed to be calculated, end quote you, at 1.22 times the square root of the observer's height off surface level. It must be surface level for your parallel eye level in distance measured off it to be parallel with it. Or, to put it more succinctly, Earth must be flat to measure your altitude.
that horizon was 3 miles away from your perspective, from where you were standing.
So from your perspective, from where you were standing. From where you were standing, the distance is linear and flat. From where you're standing, your height, if measured, is utilising a flat earth prerequisite in the form of parallel eye level and surface level. We are only ever proving, beyond all doubt, a flat earth by axiomatic principle in every word these stuttery men are saying.
So that buoy was closer than that.
Sorry, closer in a flat earth linear distance, was it?
That's why we can see it, right?
So we can see it because we've got eyeballs. Yeah? Are you a spastic? Do you think that the reason we see things is because you've suggested that at 1.22 times the square root of the observer's height off of surface level, we'll have a physical geometric sphere edge for a horizon blocking it? No, we see it because we've got eyeballs. Kind of retard says Mathematics in orthographic view dictate what we see with our eyeballs. Now our eyeballs dictate what we see.
Right?
Correct. Yeah.
So, what? Angels, get your ass in here so you can get told off, you stupid clown. Get your tongue out of Dave Weiss's ass. And never again will you be inferring that a distance to horizon in an Earth curve maths dictates whether or not buoys are visible. We see it because it's there and we got eyeballs. Why are you agreeing with him? What an unbelievably embarrassing state of affairs, Angels.
No, well, we could see it. We could see it when I zoomed in. Yeah.
Yes, and again, human beings can only see so far. You know, if you stutter anymore, I'm gonna have you committed. You know, string a sentence together. You're looking at a car or something, and you walk on a perfectly flat plane, and you walk further and further and further away from it, that car would eventually disappear. It would.
Really? Where's that in Earth curve maths? Because according to you, you've got a calculable, not that you know any of these variables, geometric sphere edge for a horizon at 1.22 times the square root of the observer's height in feet. There's no perspective in the flat Earth prerequisite using globe Earth mathematics. There's no perspective in that. Saying that things get smaller into distance. Yeah, we know, hashtag shit shrinks. Not in your Earth curve maths, they don't. The same Earth curve maths where you've got a surface level and a linear distance.
Would kind of merge into the horizon.
Not in Earth curve maths, they don't.
It's perspective, right?
So what? Yeah, perspective is real. Yeah, we've got perspective. It's got absolutely sod all to do with your physical geometric sphere edge at 1.22 times the square root of the observer's height off of surface level, though. Perspective's got nothing to do with that. You don't have perspective in orthographic view.
So I guess the best way for the only way I can really analyze this is to know the distances, because if you show me something that I should not be able to see.
So according to Dave and Angels, they're suggesting that you should not be able to see it. Yeah, unsubscribe from Dave Weiss, because what's being punted in this discussion is how Earth curve will block your view, and what's being debated is whether or not it should or should not be visible based on Earth curve maths that has linear distances on a flat Earth and heights off surface level. But what we're arguing about with this man is Angels and Dave telling him whether or not we should see it on Earth curve maths' terms. Not whether or not we got a set of friggin' eyeballs.
Then that would be a point well made.
Oh, really? What about the point of a linear distance and height off surface level? Oh, of course, they didn't get mentioned by Dave or Angels. We did get told that we know the extremities of the known territories according to Angels of Light. It was pointed out by Dave. He had Angel's tongue hanging out his arse as he did so.
But right now, I don't know the distances.
I'm going to show you 2 points. I'm going to show you 2 points. Now, these are oil rigs, and we know exactly how far they are because they don't move, right? And the camera is 1 foot off the water here. Now, again, you need to verify this. I could be lying. It could be 100 feet in the air, right? So it's 1 foot off the water. This one is 6.2 miles away. Doesn't seem like far, 9.4 miles away. But according to the Earth Curve Calculator, this platform should be hidden by 59 feet of curvature from that elevation. Not only can we see all of the water leading up to it, we can see the horizon far behind it. We can see the horizon far behind it. Let me show you another video of this.
I completely butchered the Black Swan. Black Swan. If the Earth is a sphere with a radius of 3959 miles, then every distance to horizon measurement can be no more than 1.22 times the square root of the observer's height in feet, as per the begging the question, proof of nothing perspective hijacking Earth curve calculations that we've been talking about to date. The ones with surface level and linear distances on a flat Earth. Yet those maths allege there's a measurable distance to Earth curve. Yeah, we debunked it in 2020. Dave doesn't understand the argument, so he just balls it up completely.
So
Yeah,
this horizon...
They're staying away from measurements for some reason. Everybody should think about that.
Is far beyond the platforms.
Okay.
So right here,
So that proves what? You showing curve in a hand gesture, does it, Dave?
Video of this. So this horizon is far beyond the platforms.
Okay.
So
What's going on? Just unsubscribe from him. He's not our friend. Dave's not our friend. He's our enemy.
right here, the water would need to be refracting up almost 60 feet.
See? He's now telling you about 7/6 of an Earth curve radius that he's given his opponent and what it should be doing to this image. This argument isn't being represented by Dave. It's being butchered. This is sabotage.
Out here, it has to refract up maybe.
Now he's telling you it has to refract up. It's an outrage. Unsubscribe from it. He's a shill. He's not here for our benefit. He's not a flat earther. He's telling you, he's saying it. Listen to the words he's saying.
Maybe hundreds of feet for us to be able to see it, but the horizon is far miles beyond the horizon.
The horizon's far miles beyond the horizon. That doesn't even make sense as a sentence, does it? Do you want this spastic representing you if you're my audience member as a flat earther? Do you want this? Is this what you want?
I want 2 horizons.
It's utterly insane that this man can even call himself a flat earther. Yeah. Outrageous. What do you want? Do you want this shit? Stuttery, stammery nonsense that makes no sense about horizons being beyond horizons.
Beyond the platform, which would be impossible on a ball.
Okay, so you're saying that the camera that took that picture was 1 foot off the water?
Correct.
So the first one was 1, this one's 8 foot, and I can actually show you the video of that confirming it, but yeah.
Oh, okay, so let's go with the 8 feet then. That's easy. These are easy calculations. So
8 feet's height off surface level.
8 feet, and you're saying that
I'm saying that that's only measurable off a flat Earth. It's a surface level measurement with eye level parallel with it. That's game over. End of the argument. Let's see how well our alleged to be flat Earth partners in crime do.
platform is 9.4 miles away?
That's a flat Earth linear distance measurement. Let's see if Angels of Light removes his tongue from Dave Rice's ass long enough to point that out.
The one in the back on that image now is 10.1 miles away from 8 foot.
So you're not going to mention that that's a flat Earth only measurement there, Angels? Been spending too much time around chills to not mention the flat Earth proof you just talked about. Oh, right, maybe we could get into talking about how globe Earth, the hill behind the hill that Dave just talked about was.
Okay, what's the one in the front? Because I can see that better.
About six.
Well, it doesn't matter because the horizon is far beyond the second one.
And what does that prove, Dave? The horizon's beyond the second one. I mean, that means nothing. As an isolated statement, it means absolutely nothing. What Dave said was valueless, wasn't it?
The horizon. How can we see the water beyond it?
So the question is whether or not we can see the water beyond the horizon. It's made of water, Dave. You're just making us look like spastics. That's your point of being here, isn't it, Dave? To make us look like retards.
Horizon should be in front of it.
Should it? The horizon should be in front of the boat. Should it really, Dave? It should be. No. Dave's telling you what a globe Earth horizon should be doing and where we should be seeing it. On a globe Earth, based on globe Earth maths. He's a shill. He's punting the globe under the guise of being a flatty. He isn't. Again, I'm going to ask, is this abundantly obvious to everyone watching? Maybe I can appeal to my chat. So if you're watching this on a live stream, just let me know. Is it clear to you, type a number 1 if this is glaringly obvious to you, that Dave Weiss is not here to promote flat Earth when he tells you about what curve should or shouldn't be doing as he's doing right now? Type 1 if you understand that Dave's not here to support flat Earth. That's not what he's for. That's not what he's for.
Well, the horizon at that distance, at that height, so if you're 8
At that height, at that distance, both flat Earth prerequisites.
feet above, the horizon should be about 3.5 miles away.
No, in an orthographic view that ignores perspective, as you brought it up earlier, sir, it would be at 1.22 times the square root of the observer's height in feet when you measure, in reality, your height off of surface level. And then describe a linear distance to the boat on a flat Earth also.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, Dave's just giving it to him, though. Yeah, not mentioning the flat Earth that's required, affirming that he's correct about the globe Earth maths.
There's an inconsistency there, because the horizon, if that platform is, as you say, 6 miles away, then I can clearly...
Yeah, they're not mentioning it, Neil. You're right. If it's 6 miles away, it's a measured distance. It's cemented into the sea floor. It ain't moving. That's why it's being used, so that tossers like you don't get away with saying if. Now, we know the distance to the oil rigs. We also know the claimed orthographic representation at 1.22 times the square root of an observer's height in feet when utilising a surface level to measure it. Yeah, we know these maths. You don't. You didn't even know the bleeding radius.
Clearly see the horizon behind the rig. And that horizon in the background should be, like I said, 3 point...
See, notice how the globe Earth proponent's saying the same thing Dave is saying. You notice that, audience? He's a globe believer, and he's telling you the same thing Dave just told you, where the horizon should be, according to the scripture of globe Earth, that uses flat Earth measurements that aren't getting mentioned.
3.5, let's say 3.5 miles away. But
What, after measuring your height off surface level and parallel eye level and distance in linear miles?
it's obviously...
A flat Earth prerequisite in all regards. Yeah, it is, yeah. I'd be pointing that out. Angels would be pointing that out if it had hung around us a bit longer. Unfortunately, the allure of Dave's arse was too much.
well beyond...
Something for you to look into. Something for you to look into.
No, Dave, something that you could butcher completely and make us all look like spastics with. Yeah, something that you could just end before it begins. I mean, you butchered it completely. You didn't do a good job of explaining this argument. You didn't explain it like I explained it. That's if the Earth was a sphere with a radius of 3959 that the guy could go and look up. Then every distance to the horizon measurement could be no more than 1.22 times the square root of the observer's height off surface level. As per the begging the question, proof of nothing perspective hijacking Earth curve mathematics. I say perspective hijacking because the wanker with the grey hair thought the perspective had something to do with it when describing observer's height off surface level for alleged Earth curve maths and where they should or shouldn't be. I mean, that's all that's being discussed with an illusion of it being a physical, reifiable, physical geometric sphere edge. Like we dealt with in housekeeping. Shocking, isn't it? We debunk the globe here and then move on instantly. Dave will go through every single flat Earth prerequisite under the sun and not mention it, and allude to how much curve should or shouldn't be there according to maths that we debunked 5 years ago.
And confirm.
Now, again, these are pictures that you're showing me, but let's just, for the sake of argument and, to have a good discussion, let's just assume all the numbers are correct.
Well, then we've proven a flat Earth. So we'll assume the distance in linear miles to the oil rigs is correct. Okay,
that is inconsistent with the Earth curve calculation.
So the Earth curve calculations require a flat Earth also. Its surface level and eye level being parallel and the distance being linear in terms of miles. So I'll take your Earth curve mathematics as read and take the victory for what it is. Because if you say I'm wrong, then you haven't got an axiomatic flat Earth surface level to measure your height off. For your Earth curve maths. Starting point for your calculation is flat Earth measurement off surface level.
But however, we have to factor in refraction. But
Sorry, do we? Why? What, the 7/6 of the Earth curve radius in an orthographic view? That's not refraction.
refraction is only about, at most, it could.
This man's just a bullshitter, isn't he? A stuttery, stammery, bullshitting, I haven't got a clue what I'm talking about. Yeah, perfect fodder.
Only
for
reduce
Dave.
curvature probably by about 7 to 10% at most.
Sorry, just make up a number. I think this guy's bullshitting to the tune of 60 to 70% bullshit at this moment. Maybe 77% bullshit. Could be higher.
So it wouldn't.
Could I get in here about refraction? Yep. Now, refraction is the law of refraction is Snell's law, which actually requires two different isotropic mediums. Now, number one, if you're going to invoke a density gradient, crepuscular rays go through the density gradient.
A density gradient requires a horizontal surface level to describe the density gradient with respect to. If you're going to describe anything in terms of altitudes for the gradiated pressure, those gradiated pressures will be described at heights off surface level. So again, Angels of Light can't get over himself quick enough to describe how two isotropic mediums are needed for refraction to combat his 7/6 of a terrestrial radius value using refraction in his globe maths. Meanwhile, they all require descriptions off surface level for altitudes in pressure gradient. So we'll need a flat Earth for this as well. It's just not getting mentioned.
And they do not curve. Now, second of all, when we're looking horizontally over the Earth, there's no density gradient. Okay, because we're looking horizontally. The density gradient is vertical. So you can't really even invoke refraction on the Earth, to be honest.
Unless the Earth is curved.
Unless the Earth is curved, and Dave's going to drop that in pretty quickly, isn't he? I mean, obviously being the flat earther, it's good that Dave brought up that unless Earth's curving, you know, you need to keep that in mind, and Dave's here to keep it in mind. Unsubscribe from Dave Weiss immediately if you're a flat earther. I mean, unless there's curve, and Dave will make sure to keep that alive, that idea, like he's just done. What a shill.
When you say density gradient...
No, you can't. You're right, because it would be the same density. You're right.
When you say density gradient, you mean the change of density of the air from the surface all the way up.
Sorry, from the surface what? The surface level? Up being a description that's only capable of description on a flat plane. You can't have up on a globe. There is no up. There's out from a curved surface if you reify it. From Copernican mathematics, but we're not getting into that sort of advanced heliocentrism here. These guys can hardly string a fucking sentence together.
Up.
Yep.
Yeah, if we calculate how much refraction there would be from the top of Mount Everest to...
Sorry, Mount Everest's top is a height off surface level. Its height, its altitude is a flat Earth prerequisite. Will Angels mention it? Highly doubtful. Seems like you've been fully brought into the fold, eh, Angels? Yeah? Just given up completely on flat Earth proving explanations for things, right? Just going to whistle past them like Dave does.
Hey, Nathan,
Yep.
this explains why he was in here Friday when I was asking you if you were going to do a show, because Angels has something. He wanted to come in here to do damage control. So deep down inside, he knows what he did.
It's 0.0%. It's negligible.
No, refraction, you're right that refraction is not a big factor. Like I said, at most, it would probably be in the range of a few percent, maybe 7%.
Like I say, this guy's possibly 67% bullshit. Maybe 68% bullshit. I mean, he's basically making up the majority of what he says, because he hasn't done any research and doesn't know the radius. He could look it up after the fact. But in terms of how much refraction... What's refraction? How did you extrapolate out this percentage?
It wouldn't account for that much of it wouldn't cause that much more to be visible over the curve of the Earth. So I don't.
But what curve of the Earth? The curve of the Earth that's calculated in the beginning of the question, proof of nothing perspective, hijacking Earth curve mathematics at 1.22 times the square root off a flat Earth. You'll need a flat Earth for those mathematics. They're not dictating how much we see of things. Like Dave made sure to reiterate. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, Dave, the flat earther, was quick to reiterate how much that globe Earth will be getting in the way in terms of its refractive index, right? Yeah, Dave was keen to point that out.
I don't think refraction is a huge player. It is a minor player. We can argue, how much, but based on that rig that you showed me, something doesn't seem right there. Assuming the numbers are correct, I'm taking your word for it.
Okay, we'll assume that we've got the numbers off a flat plane in terms of height correct, and the numbers in the distance to it in linear measurement of miles or kilometers. We'll assume all of those are correct. Welcome to Flat Earth. Right, any comments before we move into the after show? Hey, Chocolate.
Good morning, good morning.
Hey, Chocolate.
What's up, brother?
The sky, with respect to a flat plane. With that, I'm going to say if you are watching this on either Nathan Oakley 1980 or Nathan Oakley Programming Streams, then stay tuned as there will be an after show to follow. Unfortunately, though, if you are watching this live, this is where we bid you farewell. So another massive thank you to all of you liked, commented, shared, subscribed, joined as a Nathan Oakley 1980 channel member, and all that good stuff. I've been Nathan Oakley, and I will see you all in the next video.